And welcome to the Free Your Geek podcast. I am your host, Jay Free, and this is The Thorn Beneath the Roots, a 5-part journey into the heart of Thimblethorn Vale, where peace is fragile, silence has weight, and the forest holds more than it reveals. In the sheltered heart of Thimblethorn Vale, life seems steady and unbroken. Among moss, stone, and family bonds, a quiet story begins beneath the watchful trees. Episode 1: Roots of the Vale. Thimblethorn Vale was quiet and steady, a pocket of green hidden from the rush of the outside world. Tall trees bent their branches together, filtering sunlight into thin streams that warmed the moss below. The air smelled of earth, water, and wood smoke. Birds called in the mornings, crickets took over at night. Nothing here was fast. Nothing tried to dominate. Life in the vale moved with the patience of the roots that held it. At the center of this quiet lived the Sharproot family. Their cottage sat near a bend in the creek, built from fieldstone and heavy timbers. A crooked chimney leaned against the roof, its smoke curling lazily into the sky. A garden stretched out behind the house, rows of chives and carrots tended with care, and one corner left wild for herbs and mushrooms. It was a simple home, but it belonged fully to the land around it. Tamlin Sharproot, the father, was a stone shaper. His hands were scarred from years of hammer and chisel, but he carried strength in silence. He carved wells and hearths for the vale, steady work that left its mark long after he was gone. Brinna, his wife, was the village healer. Her teas and root salves eased fever and pain, and she believed that a kind word could heal as much as medicine. Together, they filled the house with quiet strength. Their children, Milo and Mira, could not have been more different. Milo was the elder, stocky, watchful, and built with the muscle of someone who trained daily. He moved as if always braced for trouble. His hazel eyes missed little, and his silence often carried more than his words. He had inherited his father's stillness, his jaw always set, as if expecting the world to test him. Mira, 2 years younger, lived in the vale as though she were part of its wind. She moved lightly, laughed easily, and gathered herbs and flowers with a sense of purpose only she understood. The woods seemed to welcome her. Birds lingered near her humming. Vines seemed to part for her steps. Where Milo held tension, Mira carried ease. The two clashed often, though never deeply. Milo grumbled at her carelessness, and Mira teased him for his scowl. He patched her satchel straps when they wore thin, and she left the best berries from her foraging on his plate. They were opposites in spirit, but bound by the kind of loyalty that needed no words. The veil itself gave them work and meaning. Tamlin's carvings marked boundaries and hearths. Brianna's teas soothed fevers. Mira's satchel overflowed with herbs and flowers, many of which she convinced her mother to try in new blends. Milo trained in the hunter circle, learning the steps and swings of weapons, preparing for the day he might be asked to defend his home. In the evenings they often gathered beneath the willow fire tree, a silver-leaved sentinel in the edge of the vale. Milo polished his flail there, its leather grip oiled and ready, while Mira wove chains of flowers. To others, it looked like a study in contrast, one child all storm and iron, the other light and laughter. But beneath those differences lay an unspoken tether. The forest around them was older than memory, its roots twisting deep, its stones marked with carvings long forgotten. Mira felt at ease in these mysteries, believing its silence to be a kind of welcome. Milo felt otherwise. To him, the woods carried a weight that pressed on the chest. Silence, he thought, was not safety, it was warning. One part of the forest that troubled him most, the western glade. It was too still, too hushed, a place where even birds refused to sing. He had seen strange prints there, pressed too deep for deer. He felt its danger the way others felt cold rain on their skin. Mira thought him overly cautious, but Milo carried the unease like stone in his chest. That night, as the family settled into their cottage, the vale seemed calm, its rhythm unbroken. The hearth warmed the stone walls. Brianna's teas filled the room with gentle fragrance. Tamlin's silence held steady. Mira's laughter softened the shadows one last time before bed. Outside, though, the trees leaned close, as if watching. And though peace seemed to hold the vale, it was a fragile kind of peace. Fragile things, Milo knew, rarely lasted. You've been listening to The Thorn Beneath the Roots. Join me next time as the story of Thimblethorn Vale continues.